Hello, my fellow YouTubers and subscribers, and welcome to my review of Alien Romulus. So, Alien Romulus. I realise I'm a little bit late to the party reviewing this movie because it did come out a while ago. I did see it a couple of times, but I haven't had a chance to do the review yet. While scavenging the deep ends of a derelict space station, a group of young space colonists come face to face with the most terrifying life form in the universe. So, Alien Romulus. This is directed by Fede Alvarez and stars loads of young people. Kaylee Spaney, David Johnson, Archie Reno, Isabella Merced, Spike Fern, Eileen Wu, and many more. So, Alien Romulus. Now, my sort of history with the franchise is I actually haven't seen Alien 3 and 4. I've not seen them. I've seen the first two, and they are easily the best of the series. I didn't care much for Prometheus, I really didn't care for Covenant either. So I kind of went into Alien Romulus with very limited expectations, so to speak. And I think I was right too. Alien Romulus, this is a technically masterful film. The production values are fantastic. The lighting and the cinematography, the atmosphere that is created is amazing. I mean, the cinema experience of this film really is quite something. If you don't see this on the big screen, I think you'll be missing out, because even if you just go for the spectacle, you will probably enjoy it because it is a fantastically fun film. And I think that's the best I can say, is that it is fun. You know, you can enjoy the thrills and spills, the way it looks and the way the creatures are designed. It is great, and it's scary. it's scarily done. But what fails is the script. Sadly, the movie has a lack of story and very bad acting, I have to say. The story for this film is essentially a very similar story to the original Alien, at least as far as I can remember. I just didn't care for these characters. I really didn't. So there was no jeopardy, really. I enjoyed the spectacle, but only to a point. These characters are boring. I don't even remember half their names. They were that boring. The only ones I really liked were Rain, who's the protagonist. Even then, there's nothing much interesting about her, but only because we see much more of her and her relationship with Andy, the android, who is essentially like her brother. And Isabella Merced as Kay, who is the pregnant woman who has to, well, give birth at some point. She's very good, but the rest of them suck. The rest of them are terrible actors. They really are. I don't think Fede Alvarez directs his actors very well in this one. I was expecting a fun time, and I suppose I got that. You know, my expectations were kind of met, but I was expecting a little bit more acting talent and a little bit more in the script. The script was just very bare bone. It just feels more like more of the same rather than more. It was just like, oh, let's make another one rather than let's make the best Alien movie yet. I just didn't feel much from this film, and I think that while it's great to see the creatures back, you know, the xenomorph and all those other aliens, and you know, the action sequences are spectacular, and the design of the ships are great, and like I said, the lighting is superb, and visually this movie's a masterpiece. Visually, it's absolutely stunning. I can't fault it in that department. But I was really disappointed with the acting, and even though they do have a couple of good callbacks to some of the other films, there's just not much to say because there really isn't much there beyond the surface level. And these actors really, they need acting lessons. Really, there's no chemistry with the group. The group don't really feel like they are friends. That's the big difference compared to the first film, where with Sigourney Weaver and Yaphet Kotto and everybody, and Ian Holm, they all felt very connected, even though they had different personalities. But there was a chemistry with the group, and you felt the jeopardy. This is the opposite. The group here feels stale, and they feel uninspired, and you don't care whether they live or die, really. And that's the biggest problem in an Alien movie. That's the least you want. That's the least you can expect. Is you care whether they live or die. I will say this though: there is quite a good surprise. There's an old character from the first film who is brought back with motion capture technology. The original actor has passed away, but someone has done it's either an AI voice modulation or someone is doing an impression of him, and they've rotoscoped his face on through animation. Seeing his character back was quite nice, and that added a bit of nostalgia to the movie, but the movie shouldn't rely on nostalgia. I'll give it this though: it's well paced, it doesn't drag, it goes on for 2 hours, and I think it serves its purpose, but it almost felt kind of not beat for beat the first Alien, but very reminiscent of the first Alien. I think it tried to be the first Alien movie with a next-gen cast, and ultimately I don't think it really worked because it didn't offer anything else that was more than what the first movie was. It didn't try and reinvent the series. At the very least, I would have liked more character development. There are some moments that are quite, well, personal, certainly with Kay, the pregnant woman. But aside from her and Rain and Andy, the acting is terrible in this film. It really is awful. Even the android, Andy, while he's kind of an interesting character in terms of the way he's programmed and the way he is used in the movie to change the dynamics of what happens to the other characters, I don't think the actor did a particularly good job. I mean, he tries, but I also didn't care for the relationship with him and Rain. Like, they were supposed to be, I guess, surrogate siblings, but it never sort of came through for me. Nothing really transcended, and I just didn't feel anything for anyone in this film, which was a big problem. There's no emotional connection. Ultimately, well, it's probably not the worst Alien movie, because at least it's entertaining. You know, you can enjoy it. It's an entertaining romp of sci-fi spectacle that's beautifully portrayed in the visual department. So on a technical level, it's amazing. But the rest of it, oh dear. This is a film where they've really thought more about the visual effects and the production design rather than the script and the actors and the story. I'll give it this though, the use of practical effects is amazing, and I think the practical side of it really is the strength of this film. And you know, you believe the world that you're on. You believe that you're in this world that's built very well, and I think it's again reminiscent of the original Alien movie a lot, and I think it pays a lot of homage to that. But at the same time, try and tell your own story. It's my advice to Fede Alvarez. I mean, his direction is kind of okay, but again, I just don't care. I wish I cared about the characters. Why don't I care about any of them? That's the big problem for me. So I don't really have much else to sort of comment on, but I would say if you were to go and see it, you will enjoy it. You know, it's worth seeing in IMAX and on the biggest screen possible, because this is the sort of film you should watch on Halloween, where, you know, you're in a dark room, and there's a lot of horror elements, and you know, the suspense is great, and honestly the way it builds up is good, and the moments of spectacle and the action is very good. It's just such a mixed bag. I'm so torn with this film because I want to love it more, but I kind of can't because of the bad acting and the script, and some of the characters are just irritating. Like the two guys who are in the film who don't last particularly long, they are probably the most annoying of all the characters. But I can't remember who the characters are, and that's also a big problem. So, with everything being said, I will probably give Alien Romulus a marginal pass. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I was hoping to give it a bit more than that. I wanted to verge on 7, but I can't because the acting and script are really bad. So that's my thoughts on Alien Romulus. What do you think of this film? Please comment down below and let me know. Please hit the like and subscribe button for more content in the future. And until next time, I'm Pajax Perspective. See ya. Bye for now.